great bishop of Clermont-Ferrand, the city in Gaul. At that time, Gaul ceased being Roman. It was taken over by Germanic tribes, the Burgundians, the Franks, and other tribes. And he succeeded Nematius. Now, Eparchius was a most saintly and devout man. At that time, the church had very little property inside its city walls. The bishop had his lodgings in what is now called the sacristy. He was in the habit of getting up in the middle of the night to give thanks to God before the high altar in his cathedral. And one night, as he was praying, it happened that as he went into the church, he found it full of devils, and Satan himself sitting on his own episcopal throne, made up to look like a painted woman, a beautiful girl. So Eparchius cried, "You hideous prostitute, is it not enough that you infect other places with every imaginable sort of foulness, without your defiling the throne consecrated to the Lord by sitting your revolting body on it? Leave the house of God this instant and stop polluting it with your presence. Since you give me the title of prostitute," replied Satan, "I will see that you yourself are constantly harassed with sexual desire." And as he said this, he disappeared into thin air. It is true that the bishop was tempted by the lust of the flesh, but he was protected by the sign of the cross, and the devil was unable to harm him. According to all accounts, it was Eparchius, bishop of Clermont-Ferrand, who built the monastery at the top of Mount Chandion, where the oratory now is, and there he would go into retreat during the holy days of Lent, that's Easter. On the day of the Lord's Supper, he would process down to his cathedral, escorted by his clergy, the town folk, and accompanied by great singing of psalms. And when Eparchius died, he was succeeded, of course, by the great Latin poet, historian, and bishop Sidonius Apollinaris, and we're going to do a special on Sidonius Apollinaris. I've got his books in Latin, the Loeb translation from Latin. So here we have Eparchius, the bishop of Clermont-Ferrand, facing Satan himself and not being tempted by beautiful girls. He didn't want to have sex with beautiful girls, so that he could be pure and he could do his service at the city of Clermont-Ferrand in Gaul, in Frankish Gaul. And of course, we have this account by Gregory of Tours, the great Gallo-Roman historian. In his history of the Franks.
The Gothic Cathedral of Clermont-Ferrand.